Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to give you tips to increase your monthly income as an insurance broker, salesperson, producer, agent, whatever role you fit into in an insurance agency. These are tips that you can use that are going to make you more money every single month if you apply them correctly. Some of them are pretty obvious. You may already know them. Some are not very obvious. These are little tips that I've learned and tricks that I've learned over the years that have made my income increase significantly over every single month. So let's dive into the video. Before we dive in, I want to shout out to Tudo. Boom. Tudo is a CRM system that we use here at Adelphia Insurance. We plug in our data and we run campaigns to generate leads, to manage active customers and do other campaigns to stir up business and also just keep in front of our customers. Highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. It's what we use. Give it a shot. All right, so let's dive into it. This is the tips that I recommend for insurance agents, producers out there that's going to increase your monthly income. Some are very, very obvious. I'm going to break it into some categories. But the first category here, and the most obvious that everybody already knows, make more sales. That's super simple. So how do you make more sales? What little tips and tricks can you do to make more sales? The number one thing that I highly recommend for making more sales, and this took a while for me to wrap my head around, but just simply increasing your marketing budget. Now, that's where it gets tricky and you start to ask questions. Where should I be spending my marketing dollars? But to make it a blanket statement in a nutshell, if you just increase your marketing spend, you will get more leads to make more sales. And if you do the math correctly, if you spend enough, the right margin on that marketing, you should be able to make that back. The beautiful part of insurance is you get renewals. So even if you spend $50 to make a $50 commission, that makes sense in my opinion, because the next year when you renew or when that customer renews, you make your $50. So you broke even, but then the second year you make money. So it's worth it. You're waiting a year to make the money back, but definitely worth it. So if you simply just increase your marketing spend, you will make more money. That doesn't mean go and run Google ads and spend $2,000, $3,000 a week on Google ads that are getting you like really low quality leads. You need to target your stuff. Be very efficient. This is why I shout out Tudo so much, because it generates leads for pennies on the dollar. Like, we have hundreds and hundreds of leads for very, very cheap. I'm not going to keep shouting out Tudo. I've already told you a million times that that's what I recommend. But whatever, do whatever you want. That's how we generate our leads. You can do them through Instagram, Facebook leads. You can do Google ads. But simply just pumping out more marketing, more dollars into marketing, you will make more sales. So just be efficient with where you're pumping your marketing dollars into. Very obvious one, but that's one I just have to point out. The next tip here for making more sales is finding a niche. So narrowing down a niche to, whatever industry that you feel is you're best at and you have the best markets for, carriers for, and you have the best expertise in, and then you also enjoy. Like, you got to be doing something you actually like. If you hate trucking and you hate talking to truckers, probably don't do trucking just because there's insurance money there. So there's a bunch of industries out there that, insurance premiums are very high. If you just narrow down to a niche and you focus on it, that will allow you to be more of an expert, bring more value, make more money. The next one is to automate as much stuff as you can off your own plate to make more sales. It's pretty clear that the largest revenue generating activity for you, like the most valuable. When I say revenue generating activity, that means like, where is your time most valuable? Your time is probably most valuable talking to a large business owner or individual life insurance case or homeowner or whatever sales product you're selling in. That is the best value of your own time, is having a really good conversation with that individual and sending out a quote and taking a payment. That is the most valuable part of your own time. So everything else that is like certificate requests or a billing payment or like a mortgage change or, adding an endorsement, like these are things that are not worth, they're not necessarily not worth your time, but they're not the most valuable use of your time. So you need to delegate as much of that stuff or automate that stuff. And the sooner you can get that off your plate, the more efficient you can focus on things that are going to make more money for the longevity of your business. So if you're still doing little things like that, you need to get them off your plate or automate them somehow. Okay, going back to making sales and focusing on a niche. Now, let's just say you did find a niche. Let's just say it's contractors or plumbers, electricians. That's your niche. Great. Now, the next thing you need to realize is there are certain carriers that will pay you 18% commission, some will pay you 10% commission, some will pay you 12, 15. If you simply start focusing more on selling the policies with the carriers that pay you 18% commission, and you add up in $100, $200, $300,000 in premium, at $100,000 in premium, you're making an extra 5%. You're making an extra, $5,000 a year simply, so that's $500 a month. Literally just by selling the carrier the product. Obviously do whatever is best in your customer's best interest, but just focusing on the carriers or really giving them the best shot to sell the carriers that are paying you the most commission. That's an easy thing you can do to make some more money. Pretty easy one, pretty simple, obvious, but I didn't even think about this for years. I wasn't even really paying attention which carriers paid the most commission. I just wanted to make sales and do what you got to do. Get them in the door. If it's not going to sell with this company and they pay you a little more, you got to go with the cheaper company that pays you a little less. It's still worth it. Get them on the books. Do what you got to do. And that's what I'm trying to say is if you focus on the companies that pay you more, you'll start to make more money. Moving on to the next thing here, which is the opposite of just making sales, which is retention, keeping the sales. So keeping the sales. Now, one of the easiest sales you can make is just keeping already an active customer. Instead of spending 2 or 3 hours trying to make a new sale and you have a customer who's about to leave you, the easiest and the actually best form of your use of your time is keeping that customer on the books. It's much easier to save a customer and keep them on the books than it is to make a brand new sale. So take care of your book, take care of your active customers, because that could be an expensive loss if you're just neglecting them, not paying attention to them. So increasing retention, having the right renewal processes in place, making sure you contact them before, especially if they're not on auto pay. This is a huge tip, big mistake we used to make. We wouldn't check who was on auto pay and who wasn't. If they're not on auto pay, there's a lot higher chance that they don't just call you to make the payment. The people on automatic payments, they renew automatically typically, but the ones that are not. So having a good system where you're following up on renewals, pending cancellations, and keeping your customers and retention. Another tip here is cross-selling. So when people are calling in for billing questions or whatever, let's just say you have a customer service rep that handles those things, getting them into the habit of always trying to cross-sell them. Statistically, your policies decrease significantly on cancellation if you have multiple policies within one account. So your retention rates go up significantly when you have multiple lines of business, like a home, an auto, and a life insurance. There's a lot lower chance that they're gonna leave you. Highly recommend always training your team, always being in the mindset of cross-selling, not even for the extra little commission, just to keep them, because the lifetime value, that's gonna make you thousands on the back end. You always have to remember the long run, the big picture, and that's what insurance is all about. Okay, next area that I wanna talk about is reinvesting in the agency and doing things that will make you more money just by simply doing some simple reinvestments. Most obvious one is hiring a salesperson or a customer service person to take things off your plate or duplicate yourself as a salesperson. Teaching people your sales strategies, what you know, and duplicating yourself. The sooner you can duplicate yourself in sales, the sooner you're going to, that money reinvested, you will see back and you'll start to have more activity. It's all about activity and getting more stuff done. Me and my team with five producers will 100% outperform the activity of 1 or 2 agents out there, because there's 5 or 6 of us doing the calls, doing all the quotes. Like, there's absolutely no way 2 agents are ever going to compete with me and 5 other producers, especially with our hunger and our ambition. Like, there's absolutely no way anyone's going to catch us. So having more people, duplicating yourself is super, super important. And it's a lot easier said than done. It's very hard to find good people, so be slow to hire. And if they're not the right fit for your company, be quick to fire. Another thing when it comes to reinvesting is the flip side is also just keeping your overhead expenses low, pulling your bank statements from your credit cards, from your bank accounts, from your business, and taking a look at all the expenses. The other day, Spectrum came in here. They were charging us $115 a month for internet, and Frontier popped in. They just walked in. Hey, we can give it to you for $75 a month. I was like, dude, you know what? For $35 a month savings, times 12, that's an extra like $400 or $500 in my pocket. I was like, without a doubt, as long as it's the same speed, they're like guaranteed it's the same speed. Your systems won't go down. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Switched them over. Now I'm saving $35. It's not much money, but the internet, the phone bills, the other softwares that you're paying for, if they're not being fruitful, cut those back, save the money and reinvest into places like leads or people. Like payroll and leads are the two best places to reinvest into your business to make more money on your monthly income every single month. Baby, that's what I'm talking about. Those are my tips, and I hope those do help you. These are things that I've picked up on in the last. Some of them are so obvious, like I said, but I really do hope that some of these just click for you. When sometimes you just need to hear it again. It's not even about that you don't know this. It's just sometimes you need to hear it again. That's why these videos are super important. Keep watching them. Keep training yourself. Keep listening to tips and tricks from other agents, not just me, because there's people that I pick up stuff from all the time. So that's the reason I'm doing this. I really want to just try to help more agents than any other insurance person ever in the history of insurance, and I'm on that mission. I think I'm on pace to potentially doing that, maybe. We'll see. So yeah, I really just want to try to keep making these videos. I really appreciate you guys. If you do get any value, comment, share this video with another agent that you think could get some value from this. Give us a like, subscribe. Obviously, those things are great. And if you do want to talk to me, hit me up on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. DM me. Also, people want to talk to me quickly, on the phone. It's hard when I have a really jam-packed schedule, so DMing, I can do voice memos, that's easy. Also, I do consulting calls. If you want to do a one-on-one consulting call, you can book that at chriscostantini.com. I can give you a full hour of my time, fully dedicated to try to help you solve problems and set you up for success, because I've seen some stuff and I've seen some things. And I hope that these things do help you with some of the tips I'm giving you. God bless you all. Really appreciate you all following, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so once we get that, I'm going to throw a party. I'm going to do a giveaway to somebody out there. I'm going to give them something cool, maybe $1,000, maybe a flight to California to meet with me. I don't know. We'll figure that out when that happens, but really appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys at the top, and keep crushing, everyone. We'll see you soon. Peace.